I got you, man. I get so with the last 5 teams, man. So at number 5 for me, I'm going with the Chiefs, and that might surprise some people. But when
number 5,
at number 5, because they remember, y'all, this is the top 5 rosters. It doesn't mean like who I'm necessarily saying is the best team per se, but like the roster of who I see, and on paper, obviously at the top, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid. Those right there, that's arguably the best big 3 coach, tight end, quarterback tandem in the league. But after that, though, it's like, I like Pacheco at running back. He shows he's a gritty guy, shows some things. Kadarius Toney, receiver, he's solid. I know they drafted I think Rashee Rice, who's pretty good. He's really good in college. We got to see what he can do at the next level here in the lead. I think they got Marquez Valdes-Scantling. He was from the Packers, solid. Sky Moore, guy who has a lot of speed, but would fumble that ball often last year, I feel like. So we'll see how he bounces back. On the defensive side, you obviously got Chris Jones, who's arguably the top 2 defensive tackle, top 3 defensive tackle in the league. So they got guys there, but when I'm looking at the other teams left on this list and look at their full rosters, I just got to put the Chiefs at number 5. At number 4, though, and it's where it gets tough, JB. But I'm gonna go with the Jets, and I know the Jets arguably could be top 2, man. Like the rest of these teams, they're so fucking close to me roster wise. It could go any which way. Obviously, with the roster, with the Jets, they picked up Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Fame guy. The question is, will we see Aaron Rodgers of old, or will it be the Aaron Rodgers that we saw last season where he was kind of shaky? We shall see. Obviously he brought this guy Alan Lazard with him, solid receiver. But they got Garrett Wilson, who's a guy who, with Aaron Rodgers, could be one of the top, maybe 10 receivers in the game. Randall Cobb, OG, he's an older guy, but he's a guy that A-Rod can depend on. You got Breece Hall, explosive running back. I believe the Jets, tell me if I'm wrong, do the Jets still got Mecole Hardman as well, speedster from the Chiefs? I think
they just got him. Yeah.
Yep. Mecole Hardman, they got him. And then obviously on defense, last year the Jets was arguably like the best defense in the league. When you consider how many possessions they had and how many 3-and-outs they had because of Zach Wilson being their quarterback, I think they were the best defense in the league last year. You got Sauce Gardner, who is the number 1 corner in the game right now already after his rookie season. So like, I got they're loaded. They look good, but I got them at number 4. Coming in, so Chiefs number 5, Jets number 4. Coming in at number 3, I gotta go with the Bengals. Man. You got, again, you got Joe Burrow, top 2 quarterback in the game right now. Probably the best, top 3, receiving tandem in the league with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd. You still got Joe Mixon. Golly, like look at their roster right now. And then you go defensively. You got Sam Hubbard, who I love a lot. At the D end position. DJ Turner at corner, who's solid there. Trey Hendrickson, the other defensive lineman. I love those 2 guys. That tandem on the D line. DJ Reed. Man, they got some cats, man. As I'm saying, it's really tough when you get to the nitty gritty because they got some cats and there's some arguments to put them at even at the number 1 spot. But I got the Bengals at number 3, and then top 2 right here. So we got the 2 teams we got left. We got the Eagles, we got the Niners. So at number 2, I'm gonna go with the Niners. I think the Niners are pretty much loaded at damn near every spot except the quarterback position. Quarterback that's the question mark. Every year it seems like there's always some weird shit going on with quarterback, whether it's injuries, whether it's just question marks of who's going to start. We don't know what's going to happen. So that, to me, that's the only really question mark. Besides that though, let's start on the offensive side. You got Christian McCaffrey, who balling out. He's a guy he's a do-it-all running back, and then you got Deebo Samuel, who's a do-it-all wide receiver. To me, C-Mac and Deebo are almost used like in a similar manner, except, Deebo, his main position is receiver. Obviously, C-Mac main position is running back, but they both do each other's jobs, and they do it at a very high level. You got George Kittle, who, when healthy, is probably, top 3 tight end in the game. Brandon Ayuk, who I don't think gets enough love at receiver because we're always talking about Debo so much, but it's been time when Debo was hurt and Ayuk had to step up, and he did it to a great capability. So I love them on the offensive side. You go over the defense, you got the defensive player of the year in Nick Bosa, unblockable, literally unblockable. They picked up they got Javon Hargrave. We forgot in the interior from Philly, so they actually made Philly a little worse in my opinion by getting Hargrave. Javon Kinlaw, another big time D lineman. Fred Warner, who's probably the best middle linebacker in the game, especially with my guy Shaq Leonard being hurt all last season. Drake Jackson, a young guy, DN, who they're expecting to see some bigger and better things this year. Golly, the Niners are loaded. And I didn't even talk about the O-line. Obviously, they got Trent Williams over there. To me, he probably top 2 tackle in the league, and he probably not number 2. So, that's why I got the Niners at number 2. But number 1, I got the Philadelphia Eagles, who went to the Super Bowl last year. And to me, they got the best roster overall. Obviously, starting at the quarterback position, they have the best quarterback in the NFC, and Jalen Hurts. They picked up DeAndre Swift from the Lions, who his main thing, he has to stay healthy. But when he's healthy, that guy's very explosive, can do a lot of things out of that backfield. Obviously, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith at the receiver position, one of the best 1-2 punches at the receiver position in the league. Jason Kelce at center decided to come back. He was contemplating retirement, so keeping him was huge. Jordan, and I can't say his last name. I sound like Coach JB right now. Jordan Mailata, I think, at tackle, big time tackle for them. I like their old line. I like what I'm seeing up front. They also got Rashad Penny at running back too, to kind of help back up DeAndre Swift and kind of have that tandem there. You go over the defense. You got Darius Slay. You got Jordan Davis. Obviously, like I said, Jalen Carter, who was teammates with Jordan Davis at Georgia. So putting them together is going to be nasty in that middle. James Bradbury at corner. Fletcher Cox at D tackle, who's the vet. You got and guys got to remember the Eagles as a team had the most sacks in the NFL collectively as a team. I think they had like 4 or 5 guys with 10 plus sacks. You know what I'm saying? I know they lost Hargraves. But
how many they have in the Super Bowl?
They didn't get enough. They didn't get enough. But again, hold on. You said how many they have in the what? The Super Bowl. They were in the Super Bowl. Only one team can win every year. So I can't. If you get to the Super Bowl, I gotta give you a pound on the back. It's not like the NBA Finals. It's not like all this other. Making it to a Super Bowl is hard as hell. Hard as shit.
They lost their best. I'm not that high on the Eagles this year.